Now with mental health expert and grief counselor of more than 30 years, Tsilimparis, whose new book, The Magic in the Tragic, is all about reframing loss to find opportunity in life's most challenging moments. John, welcome to GMA3. It's nice to see you.
Good early morning to you.
John, tell us a little bit about the book, because you're really flipping the script here on how we deal with grief and adversity and how we can build emotional resilience, which I just think is so important at this time.
By the way, I thought that we were all going to be together, so I brought you copies of the book.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm going to have to mail it to you.
Please do.
But, so The Magic in the Tragic is a very different kind of a book. It's not your typical self-help book. It's a book about facing adversity. It's about facing grief, but it's done in a new and unique way. So my goal in writing the book was to try to change the dialogue about traditional grieving and try to create a new awareness where I help people, encourage people to move towards their grief as opposed to moving away from their grief. And that intention right there, that little inflection point, helps people to develop grief empowerment instead of grief avoidance. So the flipping of the script is not about moving on from grief. It's much more about moving through grief. And that's really how you build emotional resilience. Emotional resilience is about it's about converting trauma, loss, adversity, challenges into thriving. So in a sense, it's converting pain into purpose. And that's kind of the magic in the tragic.
You are flipping the script. You are a distinguished psychotherapist. You're a mental health expert. So in your experience, what is something universal that we all struggle with, no matter where we come from, no matter what our background is? You say that we can heal it through something called inspiration exposure. What is that as well?
So no matter who you are in this world, no matter how rich you are, how famous you are, how successful you are, how many people love you, you're going to experience at some point in your life some degree of pain, some degree of loss, and there's no way about it. You can hem and haw about it, but in the end, it's going to happen to you as well. So one of the ways that the book helps people to do this is through inspiration exposure. And this is where you immerse yourself in the awe-inspiring realms of art of any kind, music, poetry, literature, and nature. And in doing that, we discover more meaning in our grief. We find beauty in our suffering. And so, you know, again, that's finding magic in your tragic. Imagine if you could learn to live with as much faith and with as much confidence in the sorrowful or the sad in your life as you do with happy aspects of living. It would change your life completely. So accessing the arts in this way, or nature, is one way to open this new portal of inspiration that starts to help you positively reassociate grief with things like curiosity, self-compassion, wonderment, and even personal growth.
What message might you have to someone who thinks that maybe my grief is just too much? I can't even begin to tackle this. What is your message to them before we say goodbye?
That, you know, resilience is not about grit. Resilience is about holding your suffering in high regard and respecting it and honoring it. And the more you dignify it, the more you reduce it. But let me just say one thing. What I like to tell people is one of the best things you can do for yourself, the highest form of self-care, is to try to learn how to give yourself uplifting goosebumps and chills as often as possible. That's the magic in your tragic.
Thank you so much, John. We really appreciate you. The Magic in the Tragic is available now.